If your sales team is still manually chasing leads, copying emails, or forgetting follow-ups, you're likely leaving deals on the table. Let's talk about a few ways that we can fix that easily within HubSpot. Hey everyone, I'm Zach, Senior HubSpot Strategist at Evenbound. We help B2B sales teams make HubSpot work for them and not the other way around. In this video, I'll break down 4 underutilized HubSpot sales tools that can help your team close more deals, save time, and stay focused without adding additional software or stress. And if you want a deeper breakdown with examples and how-tos, we've got a full guide for you linked below. So the first tool we'll touch on is the templates tool. The templates tool within HubSpot allows you to create that consistent and quick messaging for your team to use as they're composing emails. Now, what's great about this is that you really only have to write this once and you can use this going forward forever. Of course, you may have to come in here and make changes, adjust as your business updates and your processes update, but for the most part, you can keep these the same and just access these whenever you need to. So you can see here, I've got a couple templates already drafted up. Some of these are being used in the sequence tool, which we'll talk about in a second here, but I'm just going to open up this inbound lead from content template. What's great about this is that you can see here, this is just a piece of content that we've drafted up. We've got some placeholders in here, but we also have what's called personalization tokens. And these pull from the properties on objects within HubSpot or records within HubSpot that we can access and dynamically change and pull in this content based on who we're sending it to. So the most common one being that contact first name, but if I come in here and insert or personalize, you can see all the different options that I have, contacts, companies, deals. We can access all of these different properties on these records and dynamically add that to the content as we're sending it. The next tool, as I mentioned before, is sequences, and this really goes hand in hand with that templates tool that we just discussed. Now, sequences allow you to create and automate that personalized follow-up for standardized processes, such as following up with a new lead or reattempting a cold contact. So I'm going to jump into one of these sequences that we've got created, and we can see the different steps in here. So you can see we've got an automated email followed by a call and another automated email. Again, these are pulling from those templates that we have created and saved, and we can always update these as we go. This allows us to create that sequential order of steps that reps need to work with, and they don't even need to think about creating these different steps in the process. They just happen automatically as we have these sequences set up. Now, if I come in here, create a sequence, a couple pro tips here, definitely take a look at some of the templates that are already available, just to give you an idea of how these might be used. So again, product demo requests or prospecting, there are different templates, different sequences for different business processes that we have set up. One little pro tip in here is this addition of a dynamic sequence. This is something that HubSpot rolled out recently, and you can see that it allows us to have different pathways depending on the engagement of the emails that we send out from the sequence. So for example, if we had, let's say, 3 automated emails spaced out by 2 business days each, if somebody engages with that first email, meaning if they open it up or if they clicked it, let's say 5 different times, we could go into different tasks depending on that engagement. So play around with this dynamic sequence tool. Like I said, it's brand new and it's a great tool to automate and follow up. The next tool that we'll discuss allows us to go a layer deeper into that automated follow-up process. And what I'm talking about here are workflows, and specifically pipeline workflows. So right now you can see I'm just looking at my deal board, at my deal pipeline here. If I go into settings, and I'm going to go up into this pipelines tab, we're going to scroll down into this automate here. This allows us to get to these simple workflows that we can create directly from the pipeline stages, meaning the workflows are triggered based on a deal moving into that stage. So let's say I wanted to assign a task out to the deal owner after a deal gets moved into that under evaluation stage. So here, all I would need to do is create a simple workflow. It's going to pop up without going into that workflows tool. I'm going to click on create a task. Can give that task a name. Let's call it demo. Another little pro tip here is we can add in those personalization tokens that we talked about with the sequences as well. So for example, deal name, I can add that in here. Of course, we always want to give it a type of task, a due date. We can set additional notes in here, and then we'll also want to assign a priority and make sure we assign that task. In this case, we want to assign it to the specific owner of that deal, which would be the deal owner. You can go ahead and click save. And it's really as easy as that. We've gone in and created a simple workflow of follow-up task. And last but not least, we've got HubSpot's Playbooks tool. Playbooks allow you to create real-time scripts for reps to reference as they're making phone calls or on meetings to ensure that we're capturing the necessary information from those contacts. So if I jump into Playbooks here, and I open this up, you can see the structure of this. We can add in additional information, paragraphs. You can see we can even add in links or images, anything that's helpful within your process to make sure, again, the reps are collecting all of the necessary information. I like these little questions or text bubbles that will automatically feed into those notes, but give some structure to this playbook. You can come in here, adjust settings. You can see here you can only associate it to specific engagement types. So if it's a call or a meeting, you can have all of these selected if you want to, but come in here and play around with those playbooks. When we're done, go in here, click publish, and then here's how you can action on those. I'm just going to switch over to a contact record. We're looking at Maria Johnson right now. If I scroll down on the right-hand side, the playbooks that you create will appear here. Sometimes will even be recommended based on the settings that you have. But if I open that up, you can see I'm looking at the same thing that we have set up before. I'm going to put a demo note in here and we're going to log that call. And then that should just show up as an activity on our activity timeline here. And it shows up as a logged call, and all those notes get structured the same way that are set up. So now that we talked about 4 pretty underutilized tools within HubSpot, let's bring it all together and talk about why this actually works. So all of these tools help eliminate mental clutter and all of that admin guesswork. Instead of chasing those to-dos, your reps focus on selling and managers get a clear view of the pipeline. The first step to better productivity is actually getting your sales team using HubSpot. These tools only work if everyone's bought in and on board. When sales and marketing share one CRM, handoffs get smoother, timing gets tighter, and both teams win. So if you want help setting this up, we put together a full guide with screenshots, pro tips, real examples like I mentioned before. Check it out. The link's in the description below. You don't need more tools. You just need to unlock the power of the one tool that you already have. Your CRM should help you sell, not slow you down. With the right setup in HubSpot, your team can move faster, follow up smarter, close more.